Ladies and gentlemen, I have a question. When our shadows fall, what becomes of us? Looking up at the lights can be blinding. Looking down can be uneasy and uncertain. What happens when our shadows fall and we stand bleeding by the curtain? In the darkness, victory matters most of all. All the gold, all the wins, are they worth it? That breathless fall? In the end, power is all you care about. It's time. It's time for Power Out.
What's going on, everyone? Thanks for joining us for a special edition of Power Out. When Our Shadows Fall has just wrapped, so we are going live. We have some familiar faces joining us for this special edition. It's a bit of a lineup change. I know some of you have been following us on social media and have advertised some names, but we had to call an audible. But we had some people come in and save us at the 11th hour. All the same, let me just do a quick round table of introductions. First, we have the co-founder of Bell to Bells and contributor to PWI, Kristen Ashley. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Thanks for being a part of the show tonight. Of course, we have the man who has a very large footprint on Power Out. He gave us our name. He gave us the theme song and that little introduction there. Excuse me, my phone is still on. That's very rude of me. But Mr. J, thanks for joining us tonight, sir.
The pleasure is all yours, I assure you.
Gotta keep working, my friend. And Fowl.
Have to.
And Fowl, the man who has saved us. Of course, Josiah, MacDonald, and Ian Abel are sending their regrets tonight. But Fowl, I saw you were watching When Our Shadows Fall as well, so I wanted you to be a part of it. Thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much for inviting me. I was just watching it, and I was like, happy to pop in, join some pretty cool people. Hello.
Yeah. Actually, quick pop for Mr. J from Spencer himself about the new intro. I thought that really suited the tone. Well done, sir. And he brings up a good question. What did everyone think of the pre-show?
What pre-show?
Exactly. An advertised pre-show that did not come to be. I didn't even realize there was supposed to be one. So this is all moot to me, but I know that this was a bit of a gaffe on their part. And I suppose that happens. So we are, of course, here to talk about When Our Shadows Fall. But first, I'd just like to take a quick moment to talk to you about the Trevor Project. If you haven't heard of this amazing organization, they are a leader in providing crisis intervention and suicide prevention for LGBTQ plus youth at risk. We at Love Wrestling have been raising money all month long. I mean, we're only 7 days and we are already killing it. We're trying to save. We're trying to raise $1,000. And we're well on our way, friends. We have already raised $420. And during tonight's broadcast of Power Out, if you give a Twitch bit donation, I am going to match that donation up to $50. Oh no, my cat's jumping on my table. This is fun. Your Twitch bit donations are going to go straight into our Trevor Fund fundraiser, and I'm going to match it up to $50. So it's roughly 100 bits for $1. My cat's now holding on to me. And if we raise 5,000 bits tonight, I will make a $50 donation as well. So if you can, thanks so much for being a part of it. If you'd like to make a donation straight to the fund itself, you can, of course, do so at the link that's at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to leave that up for a better part of the night. I'm going to pop it in and out. But there it is. And with that, let's talk about When Our Shadows Fall. Friends, before we go match by match, what did you think of the card?
So I don't really watch NWA that often anymore. During the YouTube times, during the Power time, every week, I loved that show. I just haven't really found the time to watch it now with everything else going on. So it was a bit of a surprise card for me.
Sure. Kristen, I know that you haven't been following along either, but like when you saw the card, did you have any first impressions going for that one?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good card. There was a lot of matches, I thought. I wasn't expecting so many matches. And of course, because I pay attention to the women's matches, those were the most intriguing to me, especially since there wasn't a ton of hype outside of just general announcements.
Yeah, and that's a problem that's kind of existed for pretty much a better part of this card. Like we did a bit of a breakdown just last week on PowerrrOut. Like the card is so strong, but like they didn't do a great job of like building some of these matches. Didn't stop me from being excited all the same. Mr. J, what did you think going into the event?
I'm sort of in the same boat as Fowl. I don't watch NWA as much due to scheduling conflicts. However, when I do catch it, I'm very entertained, and I was looking forward to this, and they did not disappoint. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, I don't fully agree with that statement. I think there was some disappointment, but we will of course get to that. Let's kick it off with the very top.
Trying
and actually,
to be positive. Sorry.
No, I appreciate that. That is the name of the game here at Love
from
Wrestling.
Me.
We got some cheers already. We got 25 bits. Thank you very much, Heel Wrestling Pops. We're gonna tally that up. Off to a great start. But you know, we're kicking off the show with, I got to say, a very badass video package. They haven't done a great job with this whole circus aesthetic, but I feel like they finally had their feet under them with this opening video package. Mr. J, I know you have something you want to say about this because this featured a particular metal legend.
Oh my God, I hate using this term, but I'm going to use it. And if you want to clip this, I have never popped for this guitar player as much as I popped today. Michelangelo goddamn Badio on NWA. Worth the price of admission and more. That man is a legend. I don't even know what else to say. I loved it. And the show hadn't even started yet. I was like, worth every penny. Plays two guitars at once, people. Come on.
We actually got
a double guitar.
Yeah, like
on those
same
guitars,
time.
it's like a double guitar.
It was yeah, and he's got I think he's got a quad guitar. It's look him up. YouTube is interesting for him.
Like this sounds like quadratic equations, but in musical form. I'm quite interested.
Yes. I've never actually heard Michelangelo Badio sold that way, but actually that makes me want to listen to his music even more. Thank you, sir.
We got more we got more bit donations coming in. We got 25 from Rye Levy. Thanks so much, friend. And of course, from Spencer himself, 200 bits. Thank you, friends. We're well on our way. We're off to a great start. We kick off the evening. First match of the card, the Fatal 4-Way NWA Lucha Rules, which on paper just sounds like an oxymoron, but still kind of, you know, I don't expect lucha rules from NWA, but I really enjoyed the contest that they provided. We got Slice Boogie and Marche Rocket versus The End versus Rudo and Sal Renaro and Bestia and Mecha Wolf. Wow, I had never seen the Rebellion before, but I was instantly sold. Their aesthetic is just fire, like the black and white and like the masks, just everything was pitch perfect about this. I wasn't happy that Sal wasn't teaming with Tim Storm. This is something that they've been kind of building for the past couple of weeks, that they've been working together. They've even had a match together as recently as the last edition of PowerrrOut, and for some reason they chose to debut a new talent who did marvelously. But again, I wanted the Tim Storm Sal Renaro connection. What did we think of this contest? Kristen, let's start with you.
It's pretty high energy. I think it was a good opener. I'm not super familiar with everyone that they showed. Some of them I am, but I like the Lucha Rules. I thought it was really high paced, and it got me excited for the rest of the card for sure.
Yeah, it was a hot opener. I have to agree with that. Fowl, what about you, man?
Absolutely loved that match. Yeah, when I saw the Rebellion, entranced, like that just got me straight into the card. Like that's what I really like about NWA. And this, just as Mr. J said earlier, like sometimes it is really entertaining. Whenever I watch NWA, I am entertained, and that was one of the things that really like spoke out to me. Like the way that they sold it as well. Like we've got these people, like we've got a forbidden door. Don't forget about us. We're worldwide as well. We can bring people in. So I thought that was quite cool. Yeah, and really enjoyed this match.
Fowl, excuse me, Mr. J, what about you?
I mean, when I saw Mecha Wolf's mask, I was like, I don't care how this match goes. I've already won. Like, that's the coolest thing I've ever. I was a bit disappointed when he took it off, but safety first, I suppose. But when the match started itself, I thoroughly entertained, and for an opening contest, I was like, how are they going to follow this?
When they announced the match itself, I wasn't familiar with the Rebellion, so I was like really hoping Slice Boogie and Marche Rocket would, by extension, would pick up the win. But the second I saw their outfits, I thought the right team picked up the W. What about you, Mr. J?
Yes. Have I mentioned his the Mecha Wolf mask? They need to win everything. I want a belt around that. Just do it. Give them everything.
Kristen, I know it was an opening contest with not much at stake, but did the right team win?
Yeah, I mean, they survived the end. I mean, they were being thrown around like ragdolls. So I think if they can survive that, then they win, right?
Val?
Oh, I totally forgot about the end. Like, this match there was a point in the match where PowerrrOut just threw someone out of the ring, and I was like, what the, like, like a lot of people complain about people standing. You can't complain about that. Like, those people were just standing outside, and he just started halfway. That was impressive. Such a really good match, like a big man match as well. Like, it didn't come out of nowhere. Really liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like I've always liked PowerrrOut. I haven't seen a lot of him. Like, I would see him like on this card or the other card and like not be able to follow the story. I've been so happy with his presence on NWA Power because he's there every other week. I feel like I'm finally getting a consistent sense of the character, and I am just he's just so much fun to watch. He is just a brilliant talent. We move on to the next match, and you guys know how I feel about Austin Idol's client, so I kind of want to get through this synopsis as quickly as possible. Pope versus Austin Idol's client. We get a little promo back and forth at the very beginning. It's a rare off night for Pope with Kyle Davis, I felt. Anyway, Austin Idol's client is representing the Love Alive charity, which is apparently something that Pope is very heavily involved in. Would have liked to have seen that in the story building up to the match, but again, that's not neither here nor there. This felt like a grudge match, as it should have. Pope, I only caught the end, friends. I'm sorry. I have a hard time investing in this particular wrestler, and like even when he's wrestling people I do enjoy watching, I'm just not interested. Fel, have you been following what's going on here?
So it's really weird. Like, I heard about Austin Idol's client and everything that had gone on. And I was a bit like, yeah. And I was like, it's really weird. And I kind of am not invested in those matches as well. What was really unfair in this one, and maybe it explained why Pope was kind of like on an off day, because there was a point in the match as well where he kind of slipped and stuff. Maybe he was as unhappy with the ending of this match as we all were. And so in advance, he was showing like his card. So, sorry, his hand even. I really like Pope. I'm not a big fan of the other dude. It was a match.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like whenever Power is on, Mr. J and I are often texting about our displeasure of seeing this person on the scene.
Would you like me to read, in the words of Philip Montgomery Punk, would you like me to read the text message?
Honestly, we only have a limit to one swear as per Spencer's.
I wasn't going to swear. I was going to be nice because I'm on a very short leash on Love Wrestling because this damn contractually obligated contract negotiations, Spencer, have not happened yet. So I have to not swear. I've hit my limit. So,
Kristen, any thoughts on this match?
Without being incredibly rude and mean, I think his client is the perfect example of a big guy who just isn't built to wrestle anymore. And just because someone's big doesn't mean they're strong or fit. He looked tired before even getting into the ring, and I knew it was going to be, it was just bad. And I felt bad for Pope the entire time. I really did.
Yep.
So this is my bathroom break match. Sure.
It came too early. It came too early in the show for it to be a bathroom break, and it's not fair. Mm-hmm. I say this every time I come on and Pope is wrestling this no longer athletically gifted person. If they even were, I don't care. At me, whatever. Pope deserves better. He really does. And
I was going to say, I think it's really unfair as well, because as I said, I'm not watching NWA on like the weekly basis. So when I hear stuff that it's like part way through a story, I'm like, oh, okay, let's see how they bring me up to speed. And they're like, on commentary, they're like, well, if Pope wins 7 times, he gets an NWA. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So, all right, what number is, is that over now? Like, have I come into the end of a blow off to like a feud that I never really knew about? That never happened? Like a best of 7 series that just ended?
Well,
Sorry,
it's
isn't it title defenses?
No. Yeah, that's my understanding. I know Spencer had some confusion about this as well. And honestly, I'm not sure I even have the correct answer. But from what I understand, Pope has to defend the title 7 times. Okay. This was a non-title match, so I don't think this really constitutes what's the lucky number 7 rule. Quick shout out from the comments. Mr. J. Mr. Warren Hayes wants to see you continue to fight for the right to swear. So, you've got champions. Be the champion of the cause, sir. Get us some curse words on Love Wrestling.
They love me, and I love my adoring public. I need more of them. Anyway, go listen to Poetry for Promo, folks.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, just like the discourse around that guy continues, like, why hire that guy in 2021? Like, even the baggage that he brings with him, that's one thing. But like, there's no value. I don't see it. And I don't see what Billy Corgan sees. But
Can I shoot for a moment?
By all means.
When I see a wrestler walk out and I'm already afraid that they're so out of shape and their gear doesn't fit, it's a no from me.
Sure.
Do not hire this person. Do not put them on television. I don't want to see them on a pay-per-view. Is that rude? Yup. Do I care? No.
Yeah, I got to agree. And just like, you go through the comments on anything related to this guy, and as I'm rolling through a lot of it on the screen, he's just not worth it. And
such quality content.
But anyway, Austin Idol's client, he picks up the W. Wish they were moving on from this program, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. But we get to move on, and we get to move on to talk about a really great tag team contest. We got Kylie Ray and Terrell versus Thunder Rosa and Molina. How much talent is in this ring right now? Unbelievable. Kristen, what'd you think of this one?
Overall, I mean, anything Thunder Rosa's in, I'm super excited to begin with. I mean, I sort of feel like she was going to carry some of this match, and she certainly did, but just her, like, yelling in the middle of a match at people was incredibly entertaining. I mean, she really upped the ante on this one. I loved it. It was a really good match.
Val, what'd you think of this one?
Like, that's I was going to echo that, like Thunder Rosa just like shouting at Kylie Ray, just like, you can't do that, you're not as headstrong as you think you are, to Molina, because I think he wanted to tag back in. She was like, you're not as headstrong as you think you are, let me in. I thought that was great. I thought it was great. The whole of that match, like, it just goes to show, like Molina, for example, and Taryn Terrell kind of come from almost like a similar time. And it's great to be able to see like 4 like really big names in women's wrestling have a match out there, and it was a good match, and it's nice to see that kind of like tag team match that means something as well, because NWA, in my opinion, always do really good tag team matches, and that was a good tag team match.
Couldn't agree more, sir. Mr. J, your thoughts on the tag team match?
I mean, I'm not even shy about this. I absolutely adore all of the people involved in this match. I think they're all incredible. I'm so happy to see Kylie Ray back in wrestling. I think she's a gem, and just her being a little bit less than nice and cheating, but she's still a nice person. Okay,
Spencer says
still a nice person.
Ultra heel Kylie Ray.
And the nicest heel on the block, kids. That's it was. I really enjoyed it.
She was absolutely wonderful. I thought even when she won by nefarious means with the roll up, she looked so apologetic about it, like, and not like in a sarcastic, smug heel kind of way. She looked just genuine. She looked so regretful. I loved it. I also want to like shout out to whoever runs the Impact Wrestling Twitter account. They recently reminded me how good Taryn Terrell is. Haven't seen her a whole lot in recent years. Haven't seen what she's been up to. But then they've been showing clips of her match with Gail Kim from years back. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh yeah, Taryn can go. And like, I was just excited for it all over again. We got some more bits. Corey MLB, thank you so much for contributing to the drive. Whoa, that's taking up a better part of our screen.
I'm still here.
Where am I?
Cheered out of here.
All the same. The comments are coming so fast I can't click the proper one. This is coming from all of us at my stream. We appreciate all the work you guys do on the show. Corey MLB, thank you so much. That means the world, and your bits are going to a very good place. They are, of course, going to the Trevor Project, and I'm matching dollar for dollar. So we're going to total it out at the end of the night. Again, just a great match. Love seeing Kylie Rae back. Great selling by Molina too. Like she was cut off from Thunder Rosa for a better part of the match. And like, I've only really ever seen Molina as a heel when she's working. So seeing her as a babyface, I thought she was doing really well. I am a little concerned about injuries, or it might have been just really good selling. You know, we had Molina limping. We had Kylie Rae favoring the arm. Gotta hope nothing too serious. So hope all the performers are well. Honestly, like, love this match. I thought it was going to be hard to top. Any other thoughts on the match before we move on to another pretty good match? Actually,
I particularly liked the opening, and I think it was Thunder Rosa just talking trash to Taryn Terrell, like, hurry up, we have stuff to do. I have things to take off. Let me, like, amazing work. Loved it. Even before the match started, I was like, yep, it's going in there. And in another Taryn Terrell, I just can't get enough. So there you go.
I have to also say I saw this on Twitter, but unfortunately I didn't see any more of it. But it is it correct that Kylie Rae is now signed with the NWA? I think I saw it somewhere. I don't know. Anyone got anything they could add to that possibly? Because I'm not really that good at.
Yeah, Joe Galley mentioned on commentary that like Kylie Rae's an NWA signing. I don't know like the details of the contract. Hopefully she has the opportunity to work other places if she so chooses, of course. But I honestly, that's actually the best news. This is the best signing that they have made since they've come back from hiatus. It deserved a whole lot more pomp and circumstance than it actually got. Like they introduced her with like a sliding PNG into like the frame of the final When Our Shadows Fall hype video. It was just so it's frustrating. They could have like hyped this up. Maybe it was a short notice thing, and you know, what can you do about that? But it's a great move for the NWA, and I hope Kylie Rae is happy with that with this signing.
I'm happy with it, and that's what matters.
Kristen, what do you think of Kylie Rae and the NWA?
Yeah, I mean, I went and I looked on Twitter to see the reaction because there's some people in the chat that kind of say it, you know, like, I'm happy for her and I hope that she's okay, but it's hard to get invested, right? And that was sort of the mixed feelings. Like, I'm happy because she is such a good talent, and I hope that she has found, you know, some peace in what she needs and stuff, and that she's able to wrestle more, because NWA can use, frankly, the women. So, and, you know, Kylie Rae is really great. So, I mean, it makes a lot of sense to me. But, yeah, I mean, I guess it's sort of a wait and see, right? Kind of have to sit in our hands and sort of wait it out.
I know what you mean. It's a regretful position to hold, and I feel the exact same way. Like, I want to be all in with Kylie Rae. And, you know, like, NWA seems like a bit of a lower stress environment, at least in regards to like a taping schedule. And I don't want to assume anything about what was affecting Kylie Rae, but hopefully a smaller recording schedule is beneficial to her. Quick shout out, because the bits keep pouring in. Thank you once again, Rye Levy. Thank you once again, Corey MLB. They are pouring in, and I am going to match dollar for dollar up to $50, all going to the Trevor Project. So thank you very much, guys. Joe Morin, our very own, popping in saying NWA is a great fit for Kylie as he assesses. Apparently she wasn't comfortable with super large crowds, so NWA is a perfect fit for her. If that's the case, then absolutely more power to her. We got another match to move on to, and again, no build whatsoever. This was JTG's debut with the NWA. Like, they just hyped it as debut versus Destiny. I like going into cold matches like this because I'm an optimist, and when people say, when they throw these two guys in together, my immediate question is why? Why is this suddenly happening? And I could only hope for an absolutely great match, and that's what I got. These two were wonderful. Their chemistry was amazing. This was a thoughtful match. Like, I could see the wrestlers thinking, and I love to see that. Just great sequences all around. I love the finish that they're going for, like the dueling backslides and little touches of Fred Rosser pulling on JTG's hair, JTG kicking out the legs from under Fred Rosser. Good stuff all around. JTG picks up the win. Handshake after the bell. What'd you think of this one? Let's start with Fowl. I'm sorry. I need to start inviting someone to start it. Otherwise, it's a cacophony. I apologize.
So, you know what's happened? It's late and I'm really British, so I've been like super polite like the whole time. Like, so that every time I'm just like, so thank you. So no, this time I think like these two guys, they said it on the commentary as well, and I never really thought about it, but we never ever got to see like the prime time players go up against Crime Time, which would have been like an amazing like build, would have been a great feud and could be quite interesting. And we got to see like a sampling of that tonight, and it was really good. It was two people you wouldn't have thought would mesh in a match, but they totally did, and no build required. It's cool to see JTG out there, and it feels like somewhere that he could definitely call home and do some really good work in. And Fred Rosser was out there doing good work as well. So it's just nice to see, a really good match. And so I think, as you said as well, like they're being thinking in the match. There was two guys there who are very comfortable in their craft, and they knew how to go out there and put on a good show.
Mr. J, what are your thoughts on Rosser versus JTG?
I hate using this, and I use this every single time. I loved it. It was fun. I really liked. I mean, there's the little details that I like, and it gets me choked up because, oh, look at that, it happened again. The point up for JTG, really, I was like, yeah, I love. That's a nice touch, and you can tell it's real, and it's just this is for you, and it was nice. Followed up by a very, very nice match, and I really enjoyed watching these two work. And I was going to ask in this answer that I'm giving right now if they had worked together, but I guess that's already been answered. So I'm really happy to see that. Just wish we could have seen more of it, but whatever, it happens. It was a great match, I thought.
Got to agree, man. Kristen, what do you think of this one?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it blinked and it was done, but maybe that's because it was so great. And I know Warren said it in the chat, and I agree. JTG looks like a superstar. I mean, he looked so strong. I mean, they both looked incredible, but he is a star in the making. I mean, I'm really happy with his debut. It's going to be amazing. And I have said on your show before that I think Rosser is going to be important in the company, and I still believe it. I can't wait to see what he does in the months ahead, for sure.
To the people in the comments, I know Spencer and I know Ed joined us on PowerrrOut on Tuesday when we previewed this card. Someone suggested that they have Fred Rosser and JTG like go full tilt, have the opportunity to tear it down, and then like kind of angle it towards them, maybe working both towards the vacated national championship. I think that would have been a very nice touch, not necessarily a championship match tonight, but some sort of impact on the vacant championship picture might have been a nice detail, but that is me nitpicking with something that I have no reason to expect. Great match. Very, very, very enjoyable contest. With that, we move on to the first of 3 championship matches of the evening. We got Kratos and Aaron Stevens defending against the War Kings and Strictly Business. Triple threat rules. You can only tag your tag team partner. No nonsense about tagging other people. That's never really flown with me, so I liked seeing a good triple threat match. Lots of big men in this match, and I like a good house fight too, so this checked a lot of boxes for me. Before I start with my own thoughts, Kristen, what did you think of this one?
I mean, it was good heel work all around. That's where it really shone. And I always have said Aaron Stevens is a jewel for NWA, and I'm going to stick with that. I mean, he really shined in this match, and the ending was kind of funny. It's like, are they not friends? But I think it was a great showing by all, and never disappointed with Stevens ever.
100%. Foul, what do you got?
So again, I'm like coming into the middle of it like a storyline, and I was like, I don't know what's happening, and I was like, so I'm assuming that these two guys don't like each other. So I'm like, Aaron Stevens and the God of War don't like each other, and then I was like, is he actually Kratos? Then I was like, maybe there's a joke there. Then I started like, this is just where my mind went generally. Then I was like, there's a lot of like wrestlers that seem to have like video game like monikers, and I was just thinking back to the beginning, and then. Anyway, the match was really good. Aaron Stevens, the War Kings, I really like their look, but I wasn't too familiar with them. I knew Crimson, obviously, but I wasn't familiar with both of those. Strictly Business, nice as well. And I think, as you said, the fact that they're really hot on tag team rules, like going back to the tag match, there was a point where Kylie Ray was off it was Taryn Terrell came in and like interrupted. They were like, tag ropes. Very similar in this one. Tag rules were really, really strictly enforced. And I like the end, because if you're watching week to week, that's a cool little like storyline progression. It was
Yeah.
The right team won.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Mr. J, your thoughts on the tag title match?
If I could rewind, where is Taryn Terrell? Why did no one bring that up before? That woman was abducted.
That's a good point. Thunder Rosa and Taryn Terrell did brawl to the outside. I guess we got carried away in Kylie Ray's Uber heel work.
Yeah. Anyway, back to this match.
She just got run out, didn't she? I totally forgot. And they were like, "Where's she gone?"
The ending was really weird.
It's just gone.
I didn't like really the ending, but
maybe she's taking it to AEW.
I'm not sure whether this comment applies to either of the tag team matches we're just discussing, or frankly the end of the pay-per-view. We'll get to that later, but the ending sucks. Applies several instances, but please, Mr. J.
Well, I'm really I'm very open about this. I really like, and I'm gonna swear, I don't care. My fans want it. I'm going to do it. I like big beefy dudes just beating the shit out of each other, and that's what this match was.
There's a swear.
It's a 2 thumbs up from me. Give me that all day, twice as long, and it'll be amazing. I just want all the big dudes in the ring all the time. That's it.
Great points all around. I want to echo what Kristen said about the heel work. I love that the bad guys were working together to keep Aaron Stevens isolated. The ending comes with Kratos. He's still favoring the leg, as he has been for a better part of the match. He distracts the ref. He's about to clock Crimson with the belt. Ref takes it away, and then a big swift kick below to the belt by Kratos affords Aaron Stevens getting the 1-2-3, and for some reason that's what puts them back on the same page. Well, there was a moment earlier in the match. There has been a bit of a contentious partnership between these two over the recent weeks. I'm not sold on it being resolved as quickly as it did. But that being said, like, I kind of expected the Stevens and Kratos to retain, because they haven't lost it yet. There's been ample opportunity for them to drop the tag team titles to either of these teams and other teams as well. But they held on to it, and I thought they were going to hold on to it in this match. So would anyone have wanted to see the tag titles go to a different team after this, during this contest?
Maybe War Kings, but there's time for that.
Warren Hayes actually just pulling the opposite of Danhausen and swear, encouraging the swear, but looks like you owe Mr. Spencer Love $1. But any other people?
You owe me a contract negotiation.
Any other hopes for divergent options for tag team champions on this one?
I'm happy with where it's at, frankly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think it was the right decision. And Aaron Stevens, as Chris said, is the jewel. Like every single time, like if you just put him in a segment, he's out there chewing the scenery better than the Rebellion do. He's out there just doing it. It's great.
this is one thing I do want to say about Stevens. Like, he is great. He's like he knocks it out of the park every time. I'm not entirely. I hate to admit it. I'm not entirely sold as him as a babyface yet, because I know how good he is with these big character work that he often does as a heel. Not saying he can't do them as a babyface either, but like, I know, the intellectual savior of the masses. I know Damian Mizdow. And even the character work he was doing as Shooter Stevens in when he was teaming with Question Mark, all brilliant stuff. Hilarious, never undermined his in-ring ability. It was great stuff. And I want to see him tap into that in a babyface role. And I'm hoping, I'm rooting for him. I'm supporting him 100%. I just want to see that good character work from Mr. Stevens. We're moving on to the second championship match of the evening. I have been looking forward to this after I saw what Camille can do after her match with Thunder Rosa. I had high expectations going into a match with Serena Deeb, and I got what I wanted. This was a really fun contest. Kristen, what did you think of this one?
Oh my god, it was so good. Match of the card, frankly. I mean, the main event was great, but this was my match of the card. Camille is strong, but she's fast, which I didn't expect either. Great. I mean, both of them did some really great work. Deeb really proves why she's the vet. Her offense was super smart. She pulled some super smart moves. And we got a new champ. And frankly, I don't know if that means for sure that then Serena's going back full-time to AEW, but I think the belt belonging on the show is, that's a plus, right? It's back on the show, and now maybe they sign some new women like Kylie, and we see more stuff on the actual show with it. That'd be great.
Absolutely. And like the match itself, like you said, it was just brilliant. Camille is strong. It was great seeing her work with a smart baby face. I wouldn't say it was modeled after the match that she had with Camille, but there was with Thunder Rosa, but there were a lot of similarities, and I mean that in the best possible way. Mr. J, your thoughts on the women's championship match?
Well, Serena Deeb, let's be real. She went from opening Double or Nothing, last weekend?
Yeah.
To doing just as good, if not better, tonight. I think she's phenomenal. And Camille, ever since the first time I saw Camille, I was like, this woman is absolutely amazing. She looks terrifying. I wouldn't stand, I'm 6'8", and I would not stand up to that woman because she's terrifying. And that's what I want. I don't want her to talk. I know she talks a little bit now, but it's just like, no, you just need to be there and be that brick wall that people run in. And they both did fantastic. I loved this match.
I did prefer Camille as like the silent badass. Frankly, I just really like silent badass characters. I see why they wanted to show this different side of her. But she can tap into that anytime, and she can just be that. She can be that powerhouse in the ring. She can, even her promo work, man. I feel like we're undermining her promo work. It's growing. At first it was a little rocky, but I thought in recent weeks she's been doing really good. But we're talking about the match itself. So again, very good back and forth. I love the finish with the with Deeb reversing the spear into the rolling crab, getting put into a rolling crab herself, and then following up with Camille hitting the spear. Foul. I'm sorry. I haven't deferred to you over this match. Let me know what you think.
Sorry, British and polite, late, don't worry. So I was like, it was exactly what you said about the way in which Serena Deeb was reversing the spear. That was like, whoa, that was main event caliber stuff. Because I've as I kind of said before, I fell off watching as much NWA as I did before. I can remember when the whole gimmick week to week was, will Camille speak?
Right.
Hello. Like Mr. Hayes. It was like will Camille speak? And they just stretched that out for so long until she actually did. I think she's great, and I think this match was a testament to the talent in the NWA. I would like to see more of the spotlight that's given to the NWA Women's Championship on AEW, and if that's an excuse to have Camille go up against Jade Cargill at some point, I am sold.
Think of that.
Wow.
I know. Do you see what I'm saying?
All
We
I thought
all
of
are
was
mind
Britt
blown.
Baker right away. I was like, I want to see these two fight each other in the worst possible way, but no, now I want Jade Cargill. Foul, you've
Foul.
You just
damn.
blew all of our minds, and now the dream matches are just pouring in. Of course, kicked off with Camille versus Cargill. Also from Ed Freeze, Camille versus Swole.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, our minds are open. Thank you, Foul.
Sight. That's what I mean.
Camille versus Abaddon. Nope, sorry, wrong.
Before we carry on to the main event, Rye, Rye, I'm sorry to disappoint, but I happen to know that Mr. J is off the market. He is. Do you have anything to say to this? Rye, of course, is playing around. But
Well, it is what it is. I'll take it. Not
Can
much
never go
else I
wrong
can
with
say.
can never go wrong with a little flattery being tossed around in the PowerrrOut setting. But we're gonna. Oh, this is getting adorable.
This is payback for Das Wunderkind, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay. So yeah, don't do this.
I'm not doing it. I didn't do anything.
There's a rule, and I've instated this on a recent episode of The Mind Behind. I will not be dancing on PowerrrOut unless Kyle Davis dances on Power. That is the rule going forward. I will not just dance upon request. Just leaving it out there. Just leaving it out there in case anyone in the comments is inspired. Kyle Davis did not dance tonight, so there will be no Das Wunderkind from me this evening.
Do recap packages count?
If there's a recap package, I will afford it. But yes, Das Zackerkind. I'll be changing my handle sometime soon. And this comes with an extra bit donation from Rye once more. Pride25. Thank you so much, sir. Spencer, I hope you're around, and still, I hope you're able to tally the results for me. Either way, all the bits will be going towards the Trevor project. I am matching dollar for dollar up to $50 tonight. So if you can, please. Please. If not, please just help spread the word. It does wonders for us, and it all going towards an amazing cause with the Trevor Project. And we, of course, conclude the evening with the third and final championship match of the evening, NWA Championship. I had been chomping at the bit for this one. I have been so excited. They had built it so very well. And most of this match was exactly what I wanted it to be. This felt like a championship match that also happened to be a grudge match. Lots of respect for NWA's history, little bits like the bionic elbow being used by Murdoch. Lots of references to Harley Race, who had a profound impact on the careers of both Murdoch and Aldis. But man, the ending of this match just fell apart, and I am so disappointed. Latimer comes out to distract the ref, which allows Aldis to knock the ref out with a chair. He beats down Murdoch with the chair. Then Murdoch gets the upper hand. He grabs the chair. He starts wailing on Aldis. He puts Aldis in the cloverleaf, and the ref comes in and disqualifies Trevor Murdoch. Before I rant, please, if anyone has something positive to say about the ending, I will afford you the opportunity to kick us off. Foul.
I'm gonna start you. So you know what was really cool was the end, when I don't want to take like Mr. J's swears out, because obviously he's only allowed a certain amount per show, so I don't want to do it for him.
I don't even care. I'm breaking the rules for this one, because
I think tonight Trevor Murdoch doubled you, because he said the S word and then the F word, and I was like, oh, and they left it unblinked, and that was my favorite part of the end of that match.
Yeah, the promo was good. He really sold the disappointment really well. But yeah, Mr. J, what did you think of that? What do you think of the match? What did you think of the ending?
Not allowed swearing, have to behave.
Yes,
I thought the match was fun. The part that I really liked was the wrestling, and then it got wrecked. So then I was disappointed and sad. But I will talk about one part that I really enjoyed at the beginning: the slap.
Yeah,
like over the belt. I thought it was amazing. I was like, yes, set it up. He doesn't have time for your crap. Tradition is out the window. Who cares if we were both trained by the same person? I'm here to kick your butt. Yeah, that felt all wrong.
PG Mr. J. And of course, that slap was all done during the formal introductions, which was a very nice touch. Kristen, your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, I mean, I always look at Murdoch and I'm like, he shouldn't be as good as he is. Like, you look at him and you're like, but then you see him and you're like, oh, yep, he's that good. And I think Velvet talked about it, but there were some weird decisions towards the end here too, like taking out the ref when you're trying to retain a belt. There's some weird decisions that were made, and then of course the ending and you felt so heartbroken. Poor I mean, I felt his pain there. I felt real, this frustration, like, what do I gotta do? Maybe it's just not for me. And then the crowd was eating it up, because they were responding to him. The wrestling was great. It was the ending that just destroyed it.
Yeah, even it was like a strange decision for Aldis to take out the ref. It got great heat. It's like I was fine up to that moment, and I gotta give another person who just killed it in this match was Joe Galli, selling how evil and vile Nick Aldis was. He reminded me so much of Tony Schiavone after Hogan dropped the leg at Bash at the Beach. Oh my, he just ran for it.
Is that when he went off at the end and he was just like, we deserve a formal apology from Strictly Business. We deserve a formal apology from Nick Aldis. I was like, bloody hell, Karen, chill, mate. I was like, but I loved it. Yeah, Joe Galli was fantastic there. I think what's really great about that team as well, like that commentary team, is each one of them sold a different kind of anger and emotion. And it's like Joe Galli's like, this is terrible. Tim Storm was teacher angry. Tim Storm was teacher angry. He was just like, oh, this is not going to go down in my high school. And then Velvet was just like, I'm real sad. And it was like true. So it did show like the full gamut of emotions. Whereas if it was a WWE show, it would have just had, Pat McAfee would have been dancing, but Cole would have been happy.
Yeah. Oh man, I just can't say enough good about Joe Galli. I think he's like an MVP in a very very subtle way. I think he's been holding the show together from the commentary team since season 1, and there was a whole bunch of controversy around his broadcast partners and he had to deal with like a bit of a revolving door, and he's held it together, man. He's just like a company guy through and through, and NWA is very lucky to have him. And again, lots of positive feedback for the announce table, just all around from the comments. Joe Galli had an excellent tie on tonight. You got to dress the part if you're going to be an excellent A1 commentator. But also thought the commentary team was excellent tonight. Velvet Sky is fantastic. And Velvet Sky, she's really hit her stride. I always thought Velvet Sky was providing really great content, but like she was just missing like a little vocal color. But she's a lot more dynamic at the table than when she first was growing comfortable with the role. And I love to see it. And again, we got one shout out from the one and only Pluggo, valued member of the Love Wrestling team, killer group talking some wrestling. Pluggo, thanks for joining us. Thanks to everyone for joining us. That wraps up our rundown of the card of NWA When Our Shadows Fall. Overall thoughts about the event in hindsight, Kristen.
I wasn't after the pre-show disaster. I wasn't expecting much, and then they pulled out. They pulled it out for me, and I like that there were there was title changes and there were some intrigue happening. Because I think we're used to, when you have the one pay-per-view a month from certain companies and then nothing happens, you're like, why did I watch this? So this changed that for me. I agree. Velvet Sky did amazing. I mean, the whole commentary did amazing, but she did great. I'm glad that they're putting women on the commentary table. That's just my piece. But yeah, great pay-per-view.
Mr. J.
I liked it until we got to the ending. I didn't like it, but then I looked back at the rest of the card. This is why I came on here, because it's not all about the stuff that you hate. It's about the stuff that you loved. And when you review a show, you can actually like things about it rather than being like, that was terrible. Why did I watch that? I'm going to go cry now, but I'm not going to do that because I'm a grown man. It was a fantastic show, except for the last little bit and certain individuals who don't deserve jobs. But moving past that, I liked it.
Foul. Oh, actually, just before you get going there, Foul, a couple people to shout out for additional bits coming in. Rye Levy, thank you so much for 25 bits. Spenny himself with 250. And oh, sorry, I got something blocking my little dashboard here. Oh, wow, these are really coming in at the very tail end of the show. Cheer 100, thank you. Excuse me, Paddle Ron. Rye Levy again. Jeez, guys, keep them flowing. I'm gonna match you.
Because of me. That last one's because of me.
Is this where you start doing this? So then we have to go longer. Like, is this when you start doing this thing? If the donations keep coming in, I might draw it out a little. Absolutely.
But again, quick. Just one.
A long time ago, I used to put an onion on my belt, but it was the style at the time. And then this onion, changed into like a watermelon. But the watermelon wasn't really an onion.
What?
As we push towards our last
it's late
stretch.
and he's British. That's all I can say. I don't know what just happened.
No, I want watermelon though.
Right?
Now
Everyone
I'm hungry. Yeah.
And Foul, what did you think of the card?
No, I really liked it. As like a surprise, like mystery grab bag of wrestling that I had this evening. It was really good. I really liked it. I think everyone, like as everyone said, that final part, it didn't sour me to everything. It did make me want to watch like the next event to see what happens, but it felt a little cheap. In total, NWA is my opinion.
I like it. We got a question from the comments. Anyway, I'm just going to go with that. And I think it's a perfect question to kind of end us off. This is from our good friend Ed. Who should take the title off Nick? Murdoch, Pope, JTG, Fred? I mean, all this is coming up on 1,000. He's about 40 days away from it. Do you guys have any thoughts on who should dethrone the national treasure?
Murdoch. Please, poor guy. Give it to him.
He's got the sympathy baby face roll down pat. Mr. J?
I mean, I've been vocal about this, and it's not going to happen, but a boy can dream. I'd like to see him hit 1,000. Murdoch takes it off of him, only to have One Winged Angel hit.
Ooh.
If it
Murdoch versus Omega.
It'll never happen. But imagine that happens. Then all of a sudden, Aldis goes, I want my belt back. You're telling me you wouldn't buy that? I would. It's not going to happen, but I can.
I'm interested. I
want to see the Pope take it from him. Like, not that I don't like Murdoch, but I think Pope should go to 7 and take it after he's done with this know-nothing feud. Man.
I like it. We got lots of bits coming in. I'm sorry I can't keep up with all the thanks, but once again, it's all going towards the Trevor Project. I'm matching you dollar for dollar up to 50. Foul, your thoughts on who should dethrone Mr. Aldis?
Well, hopefully Mickey James at some point. But before then, what? No, that's a nice joke.
That is a nice joke. I like that one. She was there tonight, apparently.
I know it.
I thought you were being serious. Now I'm like, oh.
No. It's really nice that anyway. Yeah, So I would really like to see him go up against and to take the championship. JTG would be a great one. I think Pope has spent a lot of time like building that like rep in NWA as well to feel like a champion that could hold it. And Murdoch be quite interesting. I think what will be quite nice and what will probably happen is we'll probably see some kind of tournament happen over the next few weeks to kind of get that new challenger. And those would definitely be the names I'd put in that as a tournament to see who come out.
Beauty. All great picks and all would be very interesting to see on NWA television. Kristen, Foul, Mr. J, thank you for joining me for our in-depth reaction to all things When Our Shadows Fall. Before we let you go, please let the audience know where they can follow you on social media all across the World Wide Web. Any interesting projects you have coming down the pipeline? Kristen, let's start with you.
Well, Kristen Ashley right there. Bell to Bells on Twitter and belltobells.com. That's where all my stuff is. Also, PWI. I just got a new women's column, and There's a Thunder Rosa one coming up that's pretty dang cool, along with some other cool interviews that we're trying to get. So just keep an eye out.
Beautiful. Fowl, what are you up to lately, my friend?
Just drawing and like stuff, and like
I love your drawings.
Thank you. That's all of it do is drawing. So I've started drawings, and you can find those drawings on my Instagram. So like, yeah, follow me on Instagram. Why not? So if you follow to at Fowl Original on Instagram, I've got loads of stuff on there, mainly pictures, drawings, and also obviously this Tuesday I will be on Love Wrestling as well. I'm double dipping this week. Just you're gonna get me again, and also I've got some other stuff coming up, but follow my Instagram and that's where you'll see where it appears.
Beauty. Mr. J, you've recently returned to the Love Wrestling fold, and you're bringing a big project with you, aren't you?
I mean, yes, I do like to come back with a little bit of pomp and circumstance. So here's where you can find me at Poetry of Promo on Instagram and Twitter. I don't actually run them, so I don't really care what you have to say to me, but just follow it. Whatever makes my product look better. This Monday, I guess that's tomorrow, depending on where you are. The newest episode of Poetry of a Promo drops. It's the good, the bad, and the so very dashing Cody Rhodes. So head over to lovewrestling.ca to listen to that one. It's a good one. And there was another thing. Oh, yeah. Thanks to lovewrestling.ca on June 26th at 8 p.m. That's Eastern time. Word Slam. The world's first, I don't even care if that's true or not, the world's first open mic poetry about wrestling. You can read famous promos. You can read poetry about wrestling. Just show up. It'll be a great artistic time. And some of you might actually learn something about culture.
I'm sorry I had
Well, go ahead.
I'm sorry that I struggled with the video there. I was clicking it several times and it just didn't want to play. I want to play it one more time because I did put some effort into that animation. Oh, there it is.
June 22nd, 8 p.m. June 20th. What am I doing? June 26th.
There we go.
8 p.m.
Thought I made a gaffe.
Stop on by. I'll be there. Will you?
Beautiful. And again, to anyone who joined us live tonight, whether you joined us on Twitch, YouTube, or Facebook, whether you joined us live, whether you're joining us after the fact, whether we're in your ears on the podcast, thanks so much for joining us and helping us raise money for the Trevor Project. I'm going to need Spencer to total out how much we have earned tonight. But before he brings that up, I just want to point out another huge effort we're doing for the Trevor to raise money for the Trevor Project is at the end of the month. We always do Quizplex here on Love Wrestling. We're going to do it a little bit differently this coming month. It's going to be special guests, audience interaction. We've already announced our first guest contestant. It's Nicole Matthews. We are going to have a lot of fun. We have other guest contestants to announce, and not gonna lie, guys, it's hard to sit on these names. I just want to spill it. It's very exciting, and I cannot wait to share. Spencer's coming in with the total raised 1,589 bits raised during tonight's stream. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Thank you so much for those donations. That's absolutely wonderful. Rest assured, it's going to go straight into the fundraiser for the Trevor Project. I am matching that dollar for dollar, so I think that's going to be about $16. I'm probably going to be a little more. It's probably going to be a little bit higher than that, but thank you so much for being a part of it,
Zachary. I'll tell you what.
Oh,
whatever you put in, I'll match it.
All right, Mr. J. Thank you very much.
Do the same.
Foul.
I'll do the same.
Oh, guys, this is so wonderful. Thank you so much. You know what? Let me just pull up that link one more time. I'm sorry. I'm still getting used to this dashboard. If you want to make a donation straight into the fundraiser, donate.tiltify.com/lovewrestlingca/Trevor Project. I know it's a bit of a mouthful. I know it's not very easy to click, but if you follow us on social media at Love Wrestling CA, wherever you find us, it's going to be a very easy link to find. Kristen, Mr. J, Fowl, thank you so much. That's just a beautiful way to end this episode of Power Out. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you to everyone who joined us tonight. And we're going to be back on Tuesday with a brand new episode of Power Out.